Welcome to the channel. Imagine you're delivering a crucial presentation to a room full of people. You've spent countless hours researching, preparing, and rehearsing to ensure your message is clear and impactful. Just as you're about to make a key point, someone interrupts you with a question or comment, throwing you off balance. Suddenly, your carefully crafted speech is derailed, and you struggle to regain your momentum. Sound familiar? Interruptions during a speech are not only frustrating for the speaker, but can also diminish the effectiveness of the message. Studies have shown that constant interruptions can lead to decreased comprehension and retention of information by the audience. In fact, research conducted by the University of California, Irvine, found that it takes an average of 23 minutes and 15 seconds to regain focus after an interruption. As a speaker, it's essential to have strategies in place to handle interruptions gracefully while maintaining control of your presentation. In this video, we'll explore practical techniques for dealing with interruptions during your speech, ensuring that your message is delivered with clarity and impact. By mastering these skills, you'll be able to captivate your audience and leave a lasting impression, no matter what disruptions come your way. Other training channels will charge you to take their expensive courses for this content, but we believe in providing this information freely. If you find today's content helpful or useful, please smash that like button and consider subscribing to our channel. As a bonus, we have a summary screen at the end of the video that captures today's main points, so you don't even need to take notes during the training. Preparing for potential interruptions. Before taking the stage, it's crucial to prepare for potential interruptions. By anticipating what might happen, you can develop a game plan to address disruptions smoothly and confidently. First, consider your audience. Are you speaking to a group of colleagues who are likely to have questions or comments throughout your presentation? Or are you addressing a more reserved audience who may be less likely to interject? Understanding your audience's dynamics can help you predict the types of interruptions you might face. Next, develop strategies to address interruptions effectively. One approach is to create a parking lot for questions and comments. At the beginning of your speech, inform your audience that you welcome their input, but kindly request that they hold their questions until a designated Q&A session at the end. You can even provide a visual aid, such as a whiteboard or flip chart, where you can park questions as they arise, assuring your audience that you will address them later. Another strategy is to prepare transitional phrases that allow you to acknowledge interruptions politely while redirecting the focus back to your main points. For example, you might say, "That's an interesting point, and I'd be happy to discuss it further after the presentation. For now, let's continue exploring the key aspects of your topic." By having these strategies in place, you'll feel more equipped to handle interruptions with poise and confidence. Remember, the goal is not to discourage audience participation, but rather to maintain control of your presentation and ensure that your message is delivered effectively. Framing the conversation. Setting the stage for your presentation is just as important as the content itself. By framing the conversation and establishing expectations from the outset, you can minimize the likelihood of interruptions and create a more conducive environment for your message to be heard. Begin your speech by clearly outlining the structure and goals of your presentation. Let your audience know what topics you'll be covering and approximately how long you expect to speak. This helps your listeners understand the context of your talk and mentally prepare for the information you'll be sharing. As part of this introduction, it's also essential to address the issue of interruptions directly. Politely request that your audience hold their questions and comments until a designated time, such as a Q&A session at the end of your presentation. You might say something like, "I appreciate your engagement and look forward to discussing your thoughts and ideas. To ensure we cover all the important points, I kindly ask that you hold your questions until the end of the presentation, when we'll have a dedicated time for Q&A. By setting these expectations up front, you establish a clear boundary and create a respectful dynamic between yourself and your audience. This approach not only minimizes interruptions, but also demonstrates your professionalism and commitment to delivering a well-structured, informative presentation. It's important to note that framing the conversation is not about stifling audience participation. Rather, it's about creating a structured environment where both the speaker and the listeners can engage in a meaningful dialogue at the appropriate time. By clearly communicating your expectations and the reasoning behind them, you foster a sense of collaboration and mutual respect that enhances the overall experience for everyone involved. Dealing with interruptions in the moment. despite your best efforts to frame the conversation and set expectations, interruptions may still occur. When faced with an interruption, it's crucial to handle the situation with grace and professionalism. Here are some strategies to address interruptions in the moment. 1. Acknowledge the interrupter politely. Recognize the person who interrupted you with a brief acknowledgement, such as a nod or a simple, "Thank you." This shows that you've heard them without giving them the floor. 2. Firmly and respectfully maintain control. After acknowledging the interrupter, assert your need to continue your presentation. Use phrases like, "I appreciate your input, but please allow me to finish my thought." "Thank you for your question. I'll be addressing that topic in just a moment." 3. Redirect the focus back to your main points. Once you've addressed the interruption, smoothly transition back to your presentation. Use phrases like, "As I was saying before." To continue with my previous point, remember the key is to remain calm, composed, and in control. By addressing interruptions with a combination of politeness and assertiveness, you maintain your authority as the speaker while still respecting your audience. Enlisting the audience's support. When interruptions persist despite your best efforts to address them individually, it may be helpful to enlist the support of the entire audience. This approach can be particularly effective when dealing with multiple interrupters or when the interruptions are becoming disruptive to the overall flow of your presentation. To enlist the audience's support, try the following techniques. Address the group as a whole. Instead of singling out individual interrupters, address the entire audience. This helps to avoid calling out or embarrassing specific individuals while still acknowledging the issue at hand. Seek agreement and understanding. Remind the audience of the importance of maintaining a respectful and orderly environment for everyone's benefit. You might say something like, "I understand that many of you have valuable insights to share, but for the sake of time and clarity, let's please hold our questions and comments until the designated Q&A session." Appeal to the group's common goals. Emphasize that by minimizing interruptions, everyone will have the opportunity to gain the most from your presentation. Highlight the benefits of a structured, focused discussion. Remember, the goal is not to alienate or discourage audience participation, but rather to foster a collaborative and productive atmosphere where everyone feels heard and respected. Staying on track. After addressing interruptions and enlisting the audience's support, it's important to refocus everyone's attention on your main message. Staying on track is crucial to delivering a successful presentation and ensuring that your key points are effectively communicated. Here are some strategies to help you stay on track. Recap main points. Briefly summarize the key points you've covered so far. This helps to reinforce your message and provides context for the rest of your presentation. Use transitional phrases. Employ transitional phrases to smoothly bridge the gap between the interruption and your next point. For example, "Now that we've addressed that question, let's move on to, as I was saying before we paused for clarification." Refer to your outline or notes. Having a clear outline or set of notes can help you quickly regain your place and continue with your presentation. Don't be afraid to take a moment to consult your materials if needed. Remember, the goal is to maintain the flow and coherence of your presentation. By staying focused and using these techniques, you can effectively navigate interruptions and keep your audience engaged with your main message. Handling persistent interrupters. In some cases, despite your best efforts to address interruptions and maintain control of your presentation, you may encounter persistent interrupters who continue to disrupt the flow of your speech. When faced with this situation, it's important to remain calm and professional while taking a more direct approach. Address the interrupter privately. If possible, take a moment to speak with the persistent interrupter privately. Politely but firmly explain that their continued interruptions are making it difficult for you to effectively deliver your presentation and for others to follow along. Suggest alternative methods of communication. Offer the interrupter the opportunity to discuss their concerns or questions with you after the presentation or through another channel, such as email or a scheduled meeting. This acknowledges their input while maintaining the integrity of your presentation. Seek assistance from the organizer or moderator. If the interruptions persist and are significantly derailing your presentation, don't hesitate to involve the event organizer or moderator. They can help to address the situation and ensure that the presentation can continue smoothly. Remember, the goal is to handle persistent interrupters in a way that minimizes disruption while still maintaining a professional and respectful atmosphere. By remaining composed and taking appropriate action, you can effectively navigate these challenging situations and keep your presentation on track. Practicing and perfecting your technique. To effectively handle interruptions during your presentation, it's essential to practice and refine your techniques. Consider the following strategies to improve your skills. Role-play potential interruptions scenarios. Enlist the help of colleagues or friends to simulate various interruption situations. Practice employing the techniques discussed earlier, such as acknowledging the interrupter politely, firmly maintaining control, and redirecting the focus back to your main points. Seek feedback from mentors or experienced speakers. Share your experiences and techniques with mentors or seasoned speakers in your field. They may offer valuable insights and advice based on their own experiences dealing with interruptions. Analyze your performance. After each presentation, take time to reflect on how you handled any interruptions that occurred. Identify areas where you excelled and aspects that you could improve upon in future presentations. Remember, mastering the art of handling interruptions is an ongoing process. By consistently practicing and refining your techniques, you'll become more confident and adept at navigating these challenges, ultimately enhancing the impact and effectiveness of your presentations. In conclusion, handling interruptions during a presentation is a critical skill that can significantly impact the effectiveness of your message. By understanding the importance of maintaining control, preparing for potential disruptions, and employing strategic techniques, you can navigate interruptions with confidence and grace. Remember to frame the conversation, address interruptions in the moment, enlist the audience's support, and stay focused on your main points. Practicing and refining these techniques will help you become a more skilled and adaptable presenter. Ultimately, the ability to handle interruptions effectively is not only essential for delivering a successful presentation, but also for fostering a respectful and collaborative environment where ideas can be shared and discussed productively. By mastering this skill, you'll be well equipped to navigate the challenges of public speaking and make a lasting impact on your audience. Here is that bonus we promised. Pause the video here to take notes or grab a screenshot. Please let us know in the comments how you have handled interruptions during your speeches. If you enjoyed this content or found it useful, smash that like button and consider subscribing to our channel. Thanks for watching.